for some spectacular theater. A couple of reminders before we get started. If you would, please take out your cell phone and make sure it's off or on airplane mode so that it wouldn't accidentally disturb our cast members tonight. Also, please, 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 no flash photography because we wouldn't want to disturb the audience or the actors that are on stage. At the conclusion of this performance, if you're planning to leave and take a break or go get a drink of water, would you please exit through these doors on this side? Of course, we have two shows that will be going on simultaneously, so we don't want to run into actors who are making crosses very quickly in the other theater. So at the end of the show, just exit through these doors on this side. And I am pleased to tell you that this cast was directed by Miss Jacki Maenius, who is a brilliant director, and interestingly enough, just won her 3rd state championship in a row. So give her a hand. And please sit back and enjoy You Can't Take It With You by Kaufman and Hart.
I'm not going to be able to get over there. I'm going to have to go. Oh, that's starting fine. Okay. All right. No, it's wrong. I have to leave it open. That's what I put this on. It shuts off.
Have the wedding right in this room.
Oh, come on now, Penny. This is the first time the boys ever called for the girl.
I don't know about that. I mean, just look at me and Ed. He came for dinner once and just stayed.
Anyhow, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandpa? That's him! Now remember what Alice said and be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look at him.
Welcome to our little home.
How do you do?
I'm Alice's mother. Do come in. Here we are.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My card.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Oh, yes, sir. That's me.
You don't mind if I sit
No,
down?
no, come right in.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, darling, it's an internal something or other.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this, but have not had any reply. According to our records, Mr. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax?
Oh, that's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You receive a yearly income from it.
I do.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, it seems that you owe the government 44 years back income tax. You know, there's quite a penalty for not filing income tax.
Penalty?
Oh, look, Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something.
Well,
Suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I'm not saying I will, just for the sake of the argument. What's the government going to do with it?
why the government gives you everything. How do you think the government keeps up with the Army and the Navy? Congress, the Supreme Court, and the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Oh, not with my money, no, sir.
I'm not here to argue with you, Mr. Vanderhoff. All I know is you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay it.
Well, I might pay you $75, but that's about all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent of it just like everybody else.
Hey, Essie, listen to this a minute.
You'll go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear me? If you think you're bigger than the law, then you've got another thing coming. You'll hear from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Oh, look out for us!
How does that sound to you folks?
It's not his fault.
That must be Mr. Kirby!
Oh, I do hope he's good looking.
Do come right in, Mr. Kirby. I'm Alice's mother. That's Mr. Sycamore. And this is Alice's grandfather. And her sister Essie, and Essie's husband Ed. There. Now you've met all of us, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
Yes, Alice. He's lovely.
I'll be right down.
Do sit down, Mr. Kirby.
Have a tomato!
No, thank you.
How about a piece of candy?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I forgot to introduce Mr. DePinna. This is Mr. DePinna, Mr. Kirby. Alice has often told us what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know my father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
Mr. Kirby, aren't you awful young to be vice president?
Oh, well, you know what that means, right? Vice president. All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Sounds kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been working there very long.
Oh, just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around for a while at first, just sort of had fun.
What did you do? Travel?
For a while. Then I went to Cambridge for a year.
Oh, England.
That's right.
Oh, say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, they're very impressive.
Oh, they are, huh?
Anyhow, the fun's over, and I'm ready to face the real world.
So now I suppose you're ready to settle down and get married?
Oh, come on now, Penny. I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows to make his own mind.
All I meant was that he's bound to get married, and suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am. Apparently you've all had time to be acquainted.
Yes, indeed, Alice. We were just having a delightful talk about love and marriage.
I'm sorry. Oh, that must be Mr. Kalingo. I think we better get going, Tony.
All right.
Good evening!
I cracked up today, Mr. Kalingo.
And my little Alex, never before have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. Kalingo. Mr. Kalingo, this is Tony. Tony This is Mr. Kalinkoff, Essie's dancing teacher.
How do you do? How do you do?
Will you pardon us, Mr. Kalinkoff? We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
The Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Yes. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. I'm so glad to have met you all.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Oh, my dinner's ready.
I thought he was a nice fellow.
Oh, and so good looking.
And has such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
I sure did, Penny. You're getting pretty personal with
Oh,
that.
no.
Then you had that ballet.
I think if they were to get married, we would put the altar right here.
No. I'm sure they'd want to have a church wedding.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, we've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we're much obliged. Remember, all we ask is just to go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we leave that to you. Thank you.
Oh, imagine Alice marrying a Kirby.
Oh, isn't it exciting?
Hey, Mark, on the xylophone.
What have we got for dinner? I'm hungry. Come on.
I could watch them dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are, aren't they?
Well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it open? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't. You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade 1 minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
I suppose I better go.
I don't want you to.
Is that you, Alice? Oh, excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I had no idea. That is, I didn't want to interrupt anything.
Not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
No, Mother.
I just came down here to get a manuscript, and then you can go right ahead. Here it is. Sex takes a holiday. Oh, well, good night, Tony.
Good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
It's all right, Tony. That's Father.
Oh, this time of night?
Any time of night. Any time of day. Look, Tony. This is something I should have said to you a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I was swept away because I loved you so.
Darling.
No, Tony. Listen. You're of a different world. A whole different kind of people. Your family and mine. It wouldn't work, Tony. It wouldn't work.
Oh, hello. How was the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful. Come on, Essie, we're butting in here.
Oh, no, they've been together all evening. Oh.
Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having a baby?
Oh, yes, he said to go right ahead.
See, that's what it would be like.
I didn't mind that. Besides, it's not like we're going to be living in your family. It's just you and I.
No, it isn't. I love them deeply. Some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they're rather strange and do unusual things, but they're fun, and I don't know, there's just some kind of a nobility about
You
them.
talk as if only you could understand them. Every family has its curious little traits. My father raises orchids for $10,000 a bulb, and my mother believes in spiritualism.
Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
Darling, what of it?
And look at Grandpa. 35 years ago he was a businessman. He could have been very rich, but one day he stopped. He quit. So for 35 years he just collected snakes and gone to circuses and went to commencements. It never occurs to
You've
anyone.
only said one thing tonight that matters. That makes any sense at all. You love me. Everybody's got a family.
But not like mine. They can't change.
They don't have to change. They're charming, lovable people, just as they are. Everything's going to be fine. You're worrying about something that may never come up.
Oh, Tony, am I?
All that matters now is that we love each other.
Yes. Oh, Tony.
Oh, Alice. Think of it. We're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Next time we be an actress on the street, Penny, I think I'd send her to play instead of bringing her home to read it.
Ed, I do wish you'd stop printing and take out these love dreams. You have to be back in time to play for me when Kalinkoff comes back.
Kalinkoff coming tonight?
Oh, yes, tomorrow night tonight, but I had to change it on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow, aren't they?
So exciting! You know, I'm so nervous. You think it was me he was engaged to instead of Alice.
Oh, I wonder what they're like. His mother and father. Ed, what are you doing now?
Mr. Patella! Mr. Patella! Look, will you go open up the front door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Whoa, what for?
Because the past 2 days when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy!
Really? I'll take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would be following you for, Ed.
Well, there's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Oh, yes, but not a bit.
There was nobody out there at all.
You sure?
I'm positive. I just saw him walk away.
Ed, it could be anybody walking along the street.
Now hurry back.
I
Kirby's are certainly going to be getting the wrong impression of this house.
You will do all that, won't you, Mother?
Of course, Alice. We're going to do everything we can to make it a nice party.
Oh, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world, and I'm the happiest girl in the world. I didn't know anybody could be so happy.
So nice to see her so happy.
Miss Sycamore, look what I found!
My painting! Look, Grandpa!
Too bad you never finished it, huh, Miss Sycamore?
You know, I always meant to finish it, Mr. DePinna, but then I just started to write a play one day, and that was that.
Oh, good thing, too. I was going to have to strip next.
My goodness. Who would have thought that the day that I came to live in the groceries that I was going to stay here for 8 years?
Oh, the milkman was here for 5, just ahead of you.
Why did he leave anyway?
No, he didn't leave. He died.
Yes.
Such a nice man. We never knew his name, and it was kind of hard to get a death certificate.
What was the name we ended up giving to him?
Martin Vander Hoff, we gave him your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
You know what, Mr. DePinna? I think I'll do some work on it. Right tonight. You go down to the cellar and put on your costume. Oh, and grab the easel. Now, where did I put my palette and brushes? Hello, Mr. Kalinga. This is in the kitchen.
Tell me, Grandpa, what do I do about Rebishka? I keep telling her she would make a great toad dance. But she laughs only.
No, sir! I can't get him on my toes, Mr. Kalinga.
Rebishka, you could wear diamonds. Great girl, Grandpa. What is that?
Penny painted it.
It stinks.
I know.
And what's that?
Oh, she's an actress. Friend of Penny's.
She's drunk, no?
Oh, she is drunk, yes. Come on, let go.
Magnificent. Life is chasing around inside of me like a squirrel.
Ooh, it is, huh?
I'm sorry, Mr. Klinkopf. I'll take you my dance clothes right away.
Tonight will really work, Pavlova.
Is he making any progress, Kalenka?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Oh, well, as long as she's having fun.
Oh, it feels so nice to get into my art things again. Do they still look all right, Grandpa?
Oh, yes, indeed.
You are a breath of Paris, Madame Sycamore.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kalinka.
It happened again. There's a man that followed me every place I went.
It's just your imagination, Ed.
No, it isn't. It happens every time I go out to deliver candies.
Oh, well, maybe he just wants some candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but it keeps following me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everyone is followed. I was followed right out of Russia.
Hello. Yes, Miss Wellington, yes. Woo!
Sorry, Mr. Klinkopf. I couldn't find my sweater.
We have a hot night for it, Pavlova, but art is only achieved through perspiration.
Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes, but it helps to have a little bit of talent to go with it.
We begin! Come on, you do that. Thank you Help with the
What? Oh, no, it's all right. Make yourselves at home.
Really, Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, it's all right. Why we weren't doing a thing.
No, just to try to keep me at home.
That's all. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
This is Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael. Oh, and Mr. Kalenka.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'll tell Alice that you're Alice, could you come downstairs, dear? We have a surprise for you.
Very
embarrassed by this. Tony, how could you have let this happen?
I'm sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight.
Oh, and this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore.
Sorry, I hope you can forgive my appearance.
Darling, I thought it was tonight.
Why, Tony, I thought you...
How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Oh, darling, you look lovely.
Oh, of course she does. Don't let this upset you, dear. We met each other at night earlier, is all.
Of course.
There you are, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just that it is awfully hot. You usually escape all this hot weather, Mrs. Kirby, right? Up in Maine?
Yes, as a rule. I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Oh, Mother would miss that flower show for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot for a year.
Oh, I would have been one for raising honey in a flame of iron garden.
Oh, what's this? I didn't realize there were little children in the home.
Oh, no, that's mine.
I suppose each man must have his hobbies. Or do you use it as a model of some kind?
No, I just play with it.
See?
It's better off if you had a hobby like that, Father, instead of raising orchids.
Oh, do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they take 8 years to blossom, right?
Well, some take even longer than that. See, I do need something to relieve the daily nerve strain.
My great solace is spiritualism. Spiritualism? Now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that's a fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is... Well, I would rather not discuss it.
Come on now, Penny. You have 1 or 2 hobbies of your own.
Well, yes, but not silly ones.
Hobby is. It just matters that you have one.
To be IT. A hobby must improve the body as well as the mind. The Romans were a great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling!
Did you do such a thing?
Perhaps we better be going.
Mother!
Mrs. Kirby, please don't go.
I'm sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
Mr. Kirby, I am extremely sorry.
Oh, that's all right, dear.
Of course it is. We're not going.
What did I do? That was so terrible! I threw him on the floor. Did it kill him?
Please, oh, I have some freshly made candy. Would you like any?
Look, why don't we all play a game of some sort?
Mother, I don't think Mr.
I have an idea.
Oh, no!
I'm afraid I wouldn't be very good at games.
Oh, but Mr. Kirby, anybody can play this game.
Mother, I don't think Mr. Kirby...
Oh, he'll love it. Now I'm going to call out 5 words, just anything at all, and you're going to put down the first thing that comes into your mind. For instance, if I say grass, you might put down green. Or if I say chair, you might put down table. It shows the reactions people have to different things. Do you see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Come on, Father. Be a sport.
Very well.
See, Alice, he does want to play.
Well,
Ready.
Now, you must play fair. So tell the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
Already, the first word is potatoes. All right, the next word is bathroom. Bathroom. Got that?
Go on.
answer for honeymoon?
Honeymoon, dull.
Dull?
What I meant, Anthony, was that Hot Springs was all those old people sitting around all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall. A very illuminating one. Please go on, Mrs. Seymour.
Oh, this one's all right, Mr. Kirby. Sex, Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that, Miriam?
Oh, I don't know, Anthony. Nothing.
Oh, well, you must have meant something, otherwise you wouldn't have put it down.
It was just the first thing that came to head, that's all.
Yes, but what does it mean, sex and Wall Street?
Oh, I don't know, Anthony. It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street, even when... It's given me a headache.
I understand, Mrs.
Perhaps it'd be best if we postpone.
I think we're being very ungracious, Father.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come, Tony. I'm sure that everybody understands.
We were fools, Tony. To ever think it would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Alice, what are you talking about?
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
Stay right where you are, everyone! Don't move!
What does this mean?
Shut your mouth, you!
I demand an explanation.
Which one is it? This is him over here.
This is an outrage.
What is all this about?
Department of Justice.
Oh my goodness, Jamin!
And what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Does that door lead to the cellar?
Yes, it
Yes.
does.
Matt! Yeah. Go down there, see what you can find.
I didn't do anything.
Come here, you. You ever see these before?
They're my circulars.
You print this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you put them into boxes of candy to get them in people's homes.
Oh, the lottery.
I don't mean anything by it. I just like to print stuff.
You didn't, huh? Dynamite the Capitol. Dynamite the White House. God is the state. The state is God.
I don't mean anything by it. I just like to print stuff. Isn't that right, Grandpa?
Well, the government's in no harm from Ed. Printing is just a hobby. Ed prints anything.
Oh no! I refuse to
Shut
stand
up!
here. You're right, Chief. I got enough powder down there to blow up the whole city.
Oh, but we only use that.
Keep still! Everyone in this house is under arrest.
did.
Oh.
Why can't we be like other people?
Oh,
I'll see if there's anything I can do. Alice.
Oh, Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thank you. Alice, won't you listen to me, please?
Tony, it's no use.
Oh, Alice, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Oh, where did he go?
Upstairs.
He walked right out the minute he came in.
Hey, the Grand Duchess of Russia, Olga Katrina! Your Majesty, if I may present Madam Sycamore, Madam Carmichael, and Grandpa.
madam.
Of course, Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Sycamore, and Mr. DePinna.
Your Highness, did you know the Tsar personally? I mean.
Of course, he was my cousin.
Essie, why don't you see if you can help Reba in the kitchen?
I will help. I love to cook.
Oh, but Your Highness.
I am an excellent cook. Come on to later on. If they have got sour cream and pot cheese, I will make you some linses.
Oh, Lindsay's!
Say, everybody, the Duchess is pretty alright, huh? Duchess, need any help in the kitchen?
Ed, will you go up and bring my bags down, please?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Ed, please. That must be the cab.
Well, if it is, it is certainly wonderful service. Is Tony here?
Yes. Yes, he is, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
Forgive my intrusion. Tony, I want you to come home. Your mother is very upset.
I suppose after last night, you might think your man is kind of crazy.
No, I would not say that, Mr. Vanderhoff, although I'm not accustomed to spending the night in jail.
Well, you have to remember, you came on the wrong night.
Alice, for the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony. Your father's right.
No, he's not, Alice.
Alice? You're in love with that boy. And you're not going to marry him because we're the kind of people we are. Tony's too nice of a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
What's that?
Yes. Mixed up and unhappy, the way you are.
Pardon me, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I'm very happy.
Are you?
I most certainly am.
I don't think so. You spend your time doing things you don't want to do.
No, I don't do anything that I don't want to do.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Just last night, you said at the end of the week in Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep doing it? You have all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
Well, that's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building my business.
Oh, and what's it got you? Same mail every morning, same deals, same meetings, the same dinner at night. Well, where does the fun come in? Don't you think there ought to be something more? You must have wanted something more.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Live the way that you do?
Well, I have fun. There'll always be people who like to work. You can't stop because they like it. But from what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of them. You're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
Neither was I, till I quit. I used to worry about the world too. Used to get all worked up about who's going to be elected president. Seemed awfully important at the time, but well, who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've spent 35 years that nobody can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's a very dangerous philosophy. It's un-American. It's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony falling under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
Matter with the question? That's downright communism.
You didn't always think
Well, I
so.
certainly did. What are you talking about?
There was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Isn't that wonderful? Did you wear tights, Mr.
Certainly not. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18 you wanted to be a saxophone player.
Tony!
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go into the business.
Look, I
didn't
may have
always
had
say
silly
so.
notions as a youth, but thank goodness my father knocked them out of me.
There's still a saxophone in the back of the
Enough,
closet.
Tony! We will discuss this later.
No! I want to talk about it now. I think Mr. Vanderhoff is right. He's dead right. I'm never going back to that. I've always hated it. And I'll tell you something else. I did make a mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony!
Because I wanted to wake you up. Because I wanted to show you a real family, as they really were. A family that loved and understood each other.
I understand you.
You don't understand me. You never have time. Well, I'm not going to make your mistake. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into business just because I'm your son. I'm getting out while there's still time.
Now, Tony, well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. But at least I'll be doing something that I want to do.
That must be the cat.
Oh, well, tell him to wait a minute.
Grandpa.
Will you mind, Alice? You know, Mr. Kirby, Tony's going through the same thing you and I went through when we were his age. I think if you listen, you might be able to hear yourself saying the same thing to your father 25 years ago. The plans we make, what happens to them? So, before they clear out that closet, I think I'd spend a few good hours on that saxophone.
So, how about it, Father? Are we staying?
Now, if you care to, Tony, I'd very much like it.
Now, if Alice could send away that cat, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Beg your pardon, but how many are going to go in the leave for dinner?
Your Majesty, may I present to you Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina.
Hello.
How do you do?
Before I make complaints, how many will there be for dinner?
Ooh, I made quite a stack of them. Can't tell.
Who did you say that was again?
Ooh, the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
Speaking of dinner, why don't you and Tony stay a while? What about you, Alice? Don't you think you ought to stay?
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other better.
Mr. Kirby, Tony,
Oh, darling.
Grandpa, you're wonderful.
Oh, I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa, I found a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
Oh, let me see. Well.
What is it, Grandpa?
The government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. Seems I died 8 years ago.
What's the name, Grandpa?
Oh, you remember Charlie, the milkman, and the one buried under my name?
Yes.
Well, I told him there was a mistake, and that I'm Martin Vanderhoff Jr. Well, they were very sorry, and I may even get a refund.
So, Miss Sycamore, how was your trip to the Adirondacks?
Shut your face, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, here we are again. And we'd like to thank you once more for everything you've done for us. Alice is going to be marrying Tony, and I think we're going to be very happy. Of course, the fireworks blew up, but that was Mr. Penny's fault, not yours. We all still have our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we leave that to you. Thank you.
Oh, I hope you like roast goose, Mr. Kirby. We're having roast goose for dinner.
Oh, it's my favorite dish.
Oh, and I can dance later.
I did something special. I've got to start thinking of next year's fireworks.
Well, here goes the Adirondacks.
Oh, and a very good thing, too.
Okay. Got it?